I swear to God, one of these days I'm gonna download the soundtrack. I I don't know. God, I'm the worst. I am the worst at procrastination. It is really bad. What's going on, guys? XCaliber here, and we are back for another Anvil build series. 2 hours early. Yeah, it's fine. I feel like building. Freaking build something. What's going on, Morris? How you doing? Very cool. Just finished the VOD from yesterday. Very nice. Where we checked out the Anvil City. It was amazing. Big shout out to you and Pear. Yeah, that's right, because you had to go early. So cool. You're all caught up. Sam Squatch, what's up? Benjamin, hey Jen, how you doing? Turn the game on. Always gives that hype music feels. Yeah, totally. Totally. All right, so. Not really gonna dwell on this one. This one's more or less done. Just needs some editing. I got all month to kind of finish this for the challenge, so I'm good with this. This is gonna be a cool little salvage CV mid to end game kind of thing. But what I want to focus on today is starter CVs. I wanna figure out what I want to use possibly for season 2. Obviously, the Mando's not a starter CV. Maybe a script, maybe a couple factions on the server. This is a starter CV, but not for me. This is like exactly. This is a script starter CV. What's up, script? Script with the raid, popping in with 15. Thank you. We have the micro carrier. Still a thing. Honestly, I don't like the look of it. In some ways, like I don't like the shaping of it. It bothers me. So I probably have to revisit it, tweak it a bunch, figure out why I don't like it. But obviously it doesn't motivate me to want to finish it or release it, or so I don't know. It's cool. I mean, I think it fits starter pretty well. I mean, it's got the warp, it's got 2 sets of grow plots. It's it's got enough cargo. I think it's got 2 cargo systems, right? And 2 complete cargo systems. Yeah, it's got, future placement for shield. It's got all this stuff. I don't know. I don't like the look of it. Like, the look of it kind of bothers me a little bit. It just feels pretty plain. I feel like I need to, like, mess with the shaping a lot more to make this something I want to use. Pricey? I don't think it's too pricey. It's, 12,000 iron, titanium. It's made out of hardened steel. It's pretty damn cheap, I'd say. I mean, that's pretty, it's not bad. I mean, it's not, it's not the thing you rush off a planet with. So I guess that's the other thing. Like, are you looking to jump off a planet real quick? Or are you looking to get something that you can kind of live out of and progress off the starter a little more naturally, a little more fluidly? I don't know. That depends on the player, right? We've got this guy, which we actually used in Season 1. I grew out of it pretty quick just because it didn't have a lot of place to put vessels. It was kind of cramped. It was cool. It had its place, but I didn't like it enough to want to kind of finish it and put it out. So I went against that a little bit. Then we've got this little guy, which is a smaller version of that, which can take a warp drive. Now this is a little more starter, I would say. This would be, a good, pretty cheap starter. You get the warp in there and then you're off. And then you can still do some production here. I think I've got 2, not even complete cargo systems, but 232. Much cheaper all the way around. Yeah. So talk to me about explosions, because I haven't experienced that. I guess I just haven't, I don't know. I haven't experienced it. So what exactly happens that causes explosions? Like, what it just happens spontaneously, or it's because you get shot, or what's the deal there? Now I know that they did something to explosive radius or some shit in the update. Is that what's causing it? Gary. Facts. Try killing a generator. Okay. Oh, okay, interesting. All right, well, look, cool. Let's do a test then. That'd be worth a test. I want to see how that works. Can I do it in creative? Whoa. Oh, you fancy. These have different colors and shit? Oh, you fancy. That looks sweet. What? Alright, so Imperial Plasma Artillery Cannon. What the frickety frig? Look at that shit. What? Wait, what? Oh, alright, we'll play with that later. Stop it. Alright, oh, bro. Oh, bro. Oh, God. Dear God, no. Oh, God. Okay. Ah. Yeah. Alright. Alright, let's test something, because that brought a good point there. Whoa, that was intense. Alright, ooh. Looks like it doesn't pay to use retractable anymore. Oh, because the generators, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I thought it was the opposite. I thought that the changes that they made to explosion radius was to prevent that. I thought it wasn't going to breach the block. What happened there? Did it go backwards? So at the cost of preventing lag shot, now it's a bomb? I don't understand. Or is it, are they just saying, like, you better have blocks in between everything? Is that what they're saying? I mean, it's smart anyway, but... Wow. That's kind of intense. Um... What? Okay, so... I don't understand. That seems pretty counterintuitive to what I thought they were trying to accomplish. So, okay, cool. So if I do this, right? So generators have a much higher blast radius. Because they were touching. Wow. So I don't know. I don't get this. This doesn't. My thing is like, okay, so they brought CPU out. They want you to build smaller vessels. They want you to build vessels that, you know, are more condensed and not these huge things. But now we have to have generator rooms that are so big in all 6 ways that it doesn't have chaining. Or so okay, is this just an issue with Reforged and it's going to be fixed? Is vanilla a lot tamer than this? Are there figures out there that we can see that can tell us how many blocks on all sides the generators need to be spaced? Or Oh, press control. Thank you. Oh, it did some damage on the blocks. But, okay. Wow. Okay. Try this. Wow, that's intense. So you really have to, like, encase, you know, these aren't encased, of course, but you really have to encase your generators to kind of protect them in any kind of way so that the blocks really absorb that damage. But wow, that's intense. That's a lot. Yeah. Really? So why isn't this blowing up? Because there's so much HP. Half the HP. Wow. Right. All right. So either heavy starter CB. Well, I don't know. I think we could still design around this. So is this what we're looking at? I mean, is this gonna be the thing? This is it? This is what we got? Alright, cool. Try to tug on. No. Dude, I bet this thing's bad. Now let's okay, fine. Now I kind of understand what's going on at least. Let's kind of design something here. So I had an idea, and now I'm a little worried about my idea because of this new development here. I mean, I think it's still okay, right? So I don't know, let's see here. There's a new compact shield? Oh, the tier 0. So the same one, you can craft it now? Oh, that's sweet. Okay. I mean, I can live with that. I can live with that. Have to swap it out. Okay. I don't think I have anything, except for this salvage thing, I haven't installed any of that default, I don't think. Maybe the all. But I don't think I'm gonna continue with the all this time around. We'll see, I don't know. What's the, what's it called? PML? What's the, damn it, what's the J. Randall thingy? What's the J. Randall production pod thingy? So, my idea, right? And I'm just putting this out as an example. My idea is that I want to kind of build on the concept of the Helios a little bit, but make it interchangeable in a way. So, like, you see how this is unique from back to front, right? Like, meaning that the front and the back are not the same shape, and obviously it's meant to go in the long way to drive in straight and dock, right? Well, my idea was to have a CV that this would go in sideways, so it would go in like sideways into it, because it'd be weird to build a CV around this. It'll be really wide, and it would just, you know, I don't know, you'd have to have it in the back or front to dock. It'd just be weird. So I want to build a starter CV that has basically a slot, one slot that one of these could go into sideways, perpendicular to the CV, right? So like that. But then I would build a pod or pods that were basically symmetrical front to back, so that when it's in there, it doesn't look weird, like it's, you know what I mean? And then I'm thinking of having like the different things, but then that way, so when you do get the Helios, you could take these pods and you can put them into the actual Helios, and they're interchangeable. But this way, if you want to deliver one of these pods, you could later use this CV for like a delivery CV or whatever, transporting cargo, that kind of thing. So I'm looking for it to be a starter in the beginning, but it could progress into like a kind of delivery workhorse kind of deal. That's the idea. So I don't necessarily need to worry about the length. I just kind of need to worry about the front to back. Well, yeah, I do need to worry about the length kind of coinciding with the length of ship. So I basically need to build out from here. Figure that out, right? So we're actually gonna do the, we'll do this one. This will be better. Because I really do like this system. I really want to kind of build from this this whole concept here, and just kind of like see what we can develop from here. Lead starter seaweed. Oh, it's like another starter seaweed. Main mod. This is what we want. Main module. Alright, so this is kind of the... So it's 23. That's what I needed to know. It's 23 blocks. Oh wait, what's 23? What's 24? Now I'm confused. That's 23. The solar's extra. Okay, alright, cool. And that's how tall? 7? Oh, I'm doing this wrong. That makes sense. I need to worry about this. 17. Okay, 17. Oh, this thing has like nothing. Okay, alright. Cool. Wait, this thing doesn't have... What? Alright. Something's wrong. I think I saved this thing without thrusters. Damn it. Alright, so that's basically what I'm going for. So then, this is apparently 23, right? So... 12? It's pretty big. Pretty big. Like, it's a cool idea and all that, but it's pretty freaking big. I don't know. I mean, so this is the thing, right? It could be this big and still not really have a whole lot going on and be pretty cheap. Let's all right, let's work with it for a minute. Let's give it a good 15 minutes here and see how bad this is gonna be. Yeah, it's too big. All right, that was a cute idea. Yeah, that's something to. I mean, not to say I wouldn't do that later, but for a starter, nah, I'm good. That's a lot. We're gonna do something better, but it does have to be big enough to be able to prevent chaining. Hey, all done. What's up? Starter. Yeah. Yeah, man, for sure. You and me both. Yeah, mainly like a kind of starter, starter CV, more or less. I don't know, like, it seems like the definition of starter CV has changed, but your first kind of all-around CV. Hey Jenga, how you doing, man? What? Dude, that's disappointing if that's the case. No. No. Hey, Rick, what's up, man?
Hey, XCal, what's up?
Hey, bro, what's up, man? Does it?
Oh, trying to get an old computer to, connect to the internet. It's a lot of fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
define old.
Let's see. The processor is like an i3 something, so it's probably good 10 years old, maybe not quite that old.
Oh, yeah, it's old. I thought you were talking like Pentium 2 or something.
Oh no. Yeah, it's snowing, or not snowing, but it's icing over here. And so the wife had to work from home, so she kicked me out of the office. So I can't work from home, but considering I don't actually work from home, I'm like, but my computer's in there. So, oh well, I had to set this thing up. I totally missed the beginning of the stream. What are you building?
I don't know.
Oh, cool.
Starter CV, maybe.
So you checked out the new explosive blocks and all that good stuff?
Yeah, we were kind of going over that earlier. Kind of cool.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting.
Yeah, it's a new feature. It's cool.
Yeah. So now whenever our stuff blows up for no reason, it's like, it's explosive blocks. That makes sense.
Yeah, no, we did some testing to see how bad it is and kind of what you have to do. So I have a decent idea now what needs to take place to maybe prevent it.
So is it just the one block? Will that prevent it? Or is it more than that, do you think?
Well, fuel tanks, it's more, I think.
Oh.
I don't know. It depends. I guess if you completely encapsulate it, like, you're probably okay. With, like, hardened steel, I'd say. But my ships, yeah, link below to my workshop, actually. If you click on the link below, you'll see a Steam Steam icon, and you click on that, you get to my workshop.
Oh, man.
Seriously? Boss is calling me. It's annoying. Oh, guys, give me a second. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second.
So, anyone in chat, have you guys had any issues with 1.4? I know mine has been kind of freezing up and stuff. So, I know Discord, they put out a little poll. I think it was Grumbledore trying to see what was going on, see if anyone else has noticed anything. Yeah. Oh, and I forgot. Yeah, now that Andy says killing my PC. Yeah, I had a low memory on mine one time when I started up, and I'm like, low memory? I had like plenty of memory, you know, plenty of RAM, plenty of all that stuff. So that was weird. TV goes bouncing around on the ground. Jeez. Rig, I'm sure you got a new computer because your antimatter warp drive. So don't blame it on 1.4. I've only played RE. I haven't played vanilla, so there's just too much new stuff in RE. Yeah, I loaded it up. Let's see, probably like 3 or 4 times, and one time it just wouldn't load. It just sat there in the loading screen. I had to Control Alt Delete to bring up the task manager to close it out, and then after that, it said the memory issue. I wonder what they did though that messed it up so bad that now the game's just pretty much becoming unplayable again.
Alright, sorry. I did drone routines today where I had to fly a drone out and take pictures, and apparently my boss didn't like the pictures, so I gotta go and redo them all. It's annoying.
Oh, that's always fun. Do you gotta go now?
No.
Oh.
Tomorrow or some shit.
You can do it whenever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't like the pictures. Yeah, Blue Max. I noticed that everything's falling now too, and even in creative. I was building a CV on the ground, which normally I just do the long stick up and then build the CV, and it was falling in creative, and I'm like, that's so annoying because I don't really care to build in space, but it is what it is. Came across a CV on robbery. That sounds like fun right there. I'm assuming, Blue Max, that you actually left your vessel on when you jumped out, correct? Chandril says, "Don't forget to boom test while you're going, XCal." And okay, it was on.
Yeah. I mean, doesn't it make sense from an efficiency point of view to like tell the person what they need to do from the jump and stop adding shit as you like analyze? I'm talking about work. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
No. Sorry, I just realized that sounded bad. No, like, yeah, like you send me out there. I have to drive up this hill. I gotta take all this gear out. I gotta fly these drones. I gotta take pictures. I gotta, all this shit. And then I come back, and now you call me when I'm at home and go, yeah, probably better if we did it this way and that way and this way. And it's like, seriously, dude? Like, now I gotta go do that all over again because you, I don't know, want to justify your job. It's annoying.
Yeah, no, they need to tell you exactly what they want, especially if it's, how to say it the right way. If they need a certain kind of picture, they should tell you that before you even go out there, because why would you send someone out there and go, hey, just take pictures, and then come back and go, yeah, those aren't right, and you're like, well, you just said take pictures, So
yeah.
they should give you a standard to follow. That would make way too much sense, though.
Yeah.
Chandril is probably going to be a starter CV, but he's not sure yet. Well, the problem is with REFORGED and the medium thrusters they just don't offer that much,
Yeah, plus CPU is just not efficient.
Yeah, I made the mistake of last playthrough, my starter CV was just mediums, pretty much. I had 2 large for forward thrust, but I couldn't even get off the planet. And it was made out of carbon substrate, and it had 2 320s, and they weren't full, but I mean, it was just, as soon as I spawned it in, it didn't work. So I would go at like 2 or 3 meters per second going up, and it's like, once I got into space, yeah, I could get going, but man, that thing was slow.
Yeah, basically the idea is I don't want you to get into this and then already be on your way out of it before you even get to play with it. Like, I like to build things that you can kind of grow with a little bit. So I don't like to build this, usually I don't like to use the smallest to biggest, because, I mean, you tend to have to change too much too quickly, and especially with what I've experienced in Season 1. Like, I want to, upgrade these things and grow with them a bit and stay with them for as long as I can until I upgrade to something better.
Hey, Scarly. He's building a new starter CV potentially.
A spot. How big is the Ravager?
Symmetry.
I don't know what any of that means, Chandro.
Yeah.
What the hell? What am I supposed to do with that information?
Numbers. Numbers.
Oh my god. Does not compute.
It's like looking at my kids' math homework. I'm like, ah.
I know, and it's in that weird British measurement thing. Jesus. I don't know what to do with that. Sorry.
It said for size of Ravager.
I know. No, I got you there. I guess I didn't mean literally the size. I guess I more meant like, is it like a bigger CV? Is it the size of this? Is it, you know what I mean? Like more like that. More of a little guesstimate, not necessarily hard math. I wonder if I sub to it. Let me.
Size class is 2.52.
Okay.
2.35. Sorry, 2.35.
No, I don't have it.
Yeah, Blue Max. It is a little frustrating that the thrusters were nerfed. Yeah.
The thrusters were nerfed?
Oh, from vanilla to reforged.
Oh.
Because in vanilla, medium thrusters are actually pretty good, you know, but.
Oh, I gotcha. Eh. I guess I'm used to it. I don't know. I don't really have an issue with the thrust and reforge. I guess I don't like using the mediums anyway. So.
Yeah, my original starter that I was talking about earlier was from vanilla, and it just, as I said, was mostly mediums, and it worked just fine. So, but you know, just learning a different way to play, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But now I don't use mediums at all, so, or smalls.
God, I hate the look of these thrusters. It's so annoying. Like, I wish I could use them like that, because I think they'd look great if those flappy things just weren't sticking out. Flappy things make the whole thing look stupid. It's such a small thing to just turn off a whole build for me. Like, I don't even want to use them at all, you know, because it's just annoying. Now I gotta change all my shaping just to not have to use them.
Those little flappy things never really bother me, so. Stroka says, just put a CV block on top of XL thrusters, strap some components to the side, done. There's your new starter CV. That's my kind of building right there. If you spent more than an hour building it, it's too long.
Nice. I'm not mad at it. Definitely not mad at it.
Why bother with sides and walls? They're just going to get blown up anyways. Yeah, that's right. So it's weird. I know I talk about this every once in a while, but my carrier, I've probably spent, countless hours in that thing. Probably at least 150, 200 hours just building it and messing with it and trying to get it exactly how I like it.
Mm-hmm.
But then I can spend 5 minutes and go download something off the workshop that looks even better. So it's like, one day.
Yeah. Luca Grabbacker, thank you for that follow. Welcome.
Yeah, I think I told you this one. I thought it was kind of funny. I was all proud of him. Like, I got this huge carrier and all this other stuff, and it works in REFORGED. I was so excited back whenever I had nothing in it yet. And I've been building on it. And I finally spawned in the Xiphos, and the Xiphos is bigger. And I'm like, really? Seriously? Come on. It's just rotten. I was so mad. I was just like, I thought this thing was huge, but no. Oh, man. I don't even want to download the sled, this
Yeah.
carrier could probably fit one of the cargo pods, so
Yeah, it's a big one. I know I'm gonna need more than 2.
Rig, I know the feeling, man. It's rough right now. But with all the bugs, also prepping, it's no fun either, so.
So the consensus is that this is how it's gonna be for season 2, and they're not fixing the explosion thing or any of that. Like, it is what it is.
I hope not. I really do. What I'm worried about is, like, you know, the ships going off into space on their own. You know how they finally mostly got that fixed by the time it was time to, you know, for 1.4. That's what I was worried about. 1.5, they'll probably get it done and fixed, and that's what I worry about.
Hey, what's up? Oh, the explosion thing is how they want it to be. Okay.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, interesting. So.
Oh yeah, I see. Oh.
It just proves that these guys don't build. It's like, I don't know. I don't know. So they want us to encapsulate everything. So, like, this was their whole problem with PvP, is they hated that people were just, you know, like, encapsulating everything on a build. And, you know, they're like, oh, we don't want you to do that. So, you know, but now, like, they're kind of forcing us to do it again, because how else are we going to protect all our stuff, like generators and stuff? So now it's just less immersive, I guess?
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
go ahead.
Kind of lame.
Rig asks, is this an Elion thing? Did Elion introduce the explosion whatever?
Yeah, no, so this is wasn't that it's a 1.4 thing, right? I remember them talking about the whole explosion thing and all that. Because it's supposed to prevent lag shot. But I think as a consequence, it's also, like, you know, making it so, you know, there's this side effect there.
Oh, see, that's so aggravating because I love in my ships having things open and you can get to them like you would on a regular ship. You know, it might be encased somewhat, but you know, you go into your fuel room and you'll see a whole bunch of fuel tanks, you know, maybe not touching, but lined up, you know, and it's like if you do that now, you lose all your fuel.
I don't know. I don't get their strategy with it. They just seem to contradict themselves with their strategy. I don't get it. It's weird. I guess I'd have to ask. I'll ask Talon what their thought behind all that is, because to me it just has a worse effect. Like, I don't get what's so great about things exploding a certain way. I don't get why that's an immersive thing. It seems kind of weird.
Yeah, Script says, yeah, it pretty much kills the roleplay aspect of having them open inside, yeah.
Well, I just don't get why they continue to limit building. Like, it seems like everything they've been doing recently has just been to further limit the way we build. I don't...
Yeah, Scarlett says he likes it because you have to build with explosions in mind, so it's a puzzle, and then he says he loves puzzles. That's true. That is true. It does make it where it's more interesting, I guess, is the best way of saying that. But I'm just not a good enough builder, honestly. I mean, I could build a brick, I guess, but
well, it's good for one person that likes to build. You know what I mean? Like, it's not. You have to make changes that kind of like balance everybody's, you know, concepts, right? Like, you got all these people building all these different things. You got people building these big ships with big generator rooms and all this great RP and sci-fi, and it's like, no, we want you to now build things where everything's encased and just put a bunch of blocks inside your generator room so that they don't chain react. I don't get it. I think it's weird. It's not, I don't know. I just honestly think they don't get it. I don't think they are taking into account any of that. I think they're just, you know, sporadically coming up with these ideas and just going, hey, let's do that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not giving them enough credit to say that they're thinking of builders and you know, what the average builders do. I mean, if they just downloaded stuff off the workshop and looked at it, they'd see that, you know, probably like 7/8 of the builds you're gonna find have some kind of RP value to engine rooms and you know, and maybe a little less, maybe 60-70% of the builds on the workshop have dedicated RP. The rest of them, yeah, they probably just bury generators and stuff where you can't see them. I'm sure a lot of people do that still, but you know, more or less, you got a lot of really high-end builds. And see, this is the thing that I don't get too, is Elyon should be focusing on that kind of building, because that's what's going to attract people to want to play the game. People want to walk through engine rooms and they want to be immersed in the game, you know? And that, to me, that's what I don't get. I don't get why they're not, you know, like, supporting that kind of, you know, building, because that's what's, you know, that's what looks pretty and that's what sells Empyrion. When people look at these builds on the workshop and go, man, this is really cool. I want to fly this. I'm going to buy this game so I can fly this ship I saw in the workshop. Or, you know, like, you could go to Google Images and you can look up Trebuchet, and I guarantee you're going to see pictures of J. Randall's ship. You're going to see these different, you know, famous, you know, you're going to see the Tachi. You're going to see, you know, it's going to give you, you know, a couple of Tachis from that people have built, you know, and they're going to look at it and go, oh shit, I love Expanse. I could fly that in this game. I'm totally buying this game. Because, you know what I mean? And then, you know, and then when they get in, it's like, oh, this thing doesn't work because of this, you know, this explosion thing in the game. Like, I don't get the payoff, is all I'm saying. I don't get the payoff for it.
Well, the worst thing, especially when I started playing, but thankfully I watched your channel before I started playing. But when I started playing, I downloaded a couple things off the workshop, and I was like so excited when I finally spawned them in and they didn't work. And it's like, there was nothing worse. And all I could think in my mind is, if I hadn't seen, you know, well, actually the designer's challenge is, I would have been so mad because, and I probably would have never played it again, just because I'm like, I downloaded this thing. I worked for 10, 15 hours to download this tank, and it doesn't even get off the ground, you know? But that was right when CPU and weights and volumes were becoming a thing. And so, but, I could not tell you how mad I was. So,
well, see, that makes me feel really good. It's like, so that means that the challenge is like doing something. It's serving a purpose to, you know, for people as an alternative, you know, of the workshop and stuff. Because to me, you're just gonna get disappointed, you know, with the settings and, you know, like what's, you know, I think, don't get me wrong, I think from before, I think that the quality of the workshop has improved greatly over the past couple of years. I think a lot more people are a lot more conscious of what they put on the workshop and the quality of it and the fact that it works, and all these things are important. Whereas, you know, before it was truly hit or miss, like if a build was going to even like perform or do what it needed to do. But I think people are it's a lot more competitive, so people are a lot more there's a standard where there wasn't a standard before. So yeah, I think that's good. Well, but
and the big, okay, so now I'm going to get on my little bitty soapbox. The biggest problem with the workshop, especially for me in the beginning, is you look at the outside, and this is, you know, back with only one, maybe two pictures, and you see something, and you're like, oh, I've always wanted a tank, or I've always wanted, oh, here's this kind of tank or whatever, and you're like, oh, here's an Apache helicopter. You just download it off that. Because those numbers mean nothing to me, you know. I only have like 1,000 hours, and I still don't know what any of the statistics mean, you know.
Right.
And you just download it because it looked pretty, you know. So, oh man, that's such an aggravation too.
Yeah, no, but I've had the same problem, dude. I've downloaded, you know, Star Wars builds from a long time ago and gotten so excited about, oh my god, I get to fly this, I get to fly that, and then it just doesn't even move. And it's like, well, what's the point? You know, I mean, it's cool you built a replica of the ship, but I want to play with it.
Yep.
You know, and to me, that's, you know, it seems like Elyon's kind of supporting that over functional builds that people actually want to fly. I don't know. It's just, I don't get why they did this. I need more information, maybe. I don't get it. I mean, I guess they were... See, this is... Maybe it has to do with Lagshot. Maybe they were just so happy they found a way to get rid of Lagshot. And they're like, you know, it's fine. We got rid of Lagshot, so at least there's that, you know? And it's like, no, like, I'll take Lagshot. We know how to prevent Lagshot to an extent, right? We know how to build against Lagshot. We've been doing it for years. Don't make it so now we have to build like PvPers and literally encase everything in steel. It's just weird. How do you repair your generators? Now you got to have these little single rooms going into these things from the inside to maybe, you know, and the blast is still going to go through that. That's just weird. I don't get it. No, not happy. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, are things still yeeting?
I haven't on 1.4 yet, but I haven't played too much on 1.4. So I've been having too many issues with my fairly good computer running it, so
shut down. Yeah, I think they do. Yeah. Well, let's test this here. Be interested to test this now. I'm gonna save. I don't think people will get used to it. I think you're further, you know, segregating the way people build into this little corner. And you know, I understood CPU. I understood the concept behind it. So, you know, I'm fine with CPU at this point. But me encasing generators in rooms, I don't get that. You're not gonna get used to that. I just think that's stupid. I just think it's dumb. I love going in a room and seeing these big generators moving around. Why make them move then? Just give us blocks and put a big sign that says generator on it. So that we don't even have to... Generator. What's the moving parts for? Like, what's the point of that now? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just... it's so weird, dude. It's so weird. Alright, so I've saved it. Let's... this, I love this. Like, I love all these after release changes they're doing. It's like, let's change the whole game after we've released it. It's like, it's like War Rock all over again. It's freaking scary the shit out of me. Like, what the fuck? All right, so. Okay, so I lost the 2 of those when I shot it. Interesting, but the other ones were only a block away. I wonder why those did that.
What's with all the yellow lines going everywhere? Is that supposed to be the blast radius?
Yeah, it's a setting you can do.
Oh.
To show that. That's weird. I wonder why it... See, these are a block away, but they didn't chain. I guess it's that block. Interesting. Let me do that for over here then. Yeah, that prevented that. Okay. I mean, it still took damage, but... Yeah, so see, like, if these are still here, this is gonna chain...
Man, that's such a long way to chain, though, too.
Yeah, well, so this is it. So you have to... Here, I'll prevent it here, I'll show you. So in order to make this not chain, you literally have to... I mean, and, you know, for the most part, I would have done this anyway, but... yeah, you really have to, like... encapsulate all sides here.
Yeah, you gotta put a thruster housing around your thruster housing, pretty much.
Yeah. So now that's only gonna blast outward, right? So... Now, like, this one, no damage. This one, no damage. This one, no damage. This one, a little bit of damage. Yeah, nah. Say goodbye to repairing your thrusters from inside. That's bullet's gonna be pissed. Yeah, it's, I don't know. I get it from a space reality standpoint, but you know, then can we fix logistics so that we don't like wizard stuff back and forth? Can we have conveyor systems? Like, where does it stop? Where does it start? Where does it stop? Can we have collision damage now? Like, what, you know what I mean? Like, what do we, what are we doing here? What's this game? You know, it's like, hey, let's take one thing and say, hey, this is reality. This is what would happen. It's like, okay, cool. So let's do that across the board, or let's not do that across the board, or I don't know. Is that what we're doing? Are we gonna get collision damage later? Or?
I guess.
I'm just asking for a friend, not for me. I'm fine. I don't care.
Yeah, and
thank you. It's gonna raise weight. Yeah. This is it, and this is what I don't get. This goes against their original strategy of making builds smaller for lag, right? Isn't that what they said? Oh, the CPU, it reduces lag. So cool, but now you're gonna make us put more blocks in a smaller build. You know, I mean, I don't know. I guess, Scarly. I mean, I see what you're saying. You're forever an optimist, but my thing is, why? I guess I just want to know why. Why was this necessary to do this? Like, that's what I don't get. Why at release 1.4 are we making such drastic changes to building yet again? That's what I don't get. You know, where you know.
Well, they literally changed exactly how you build, which is the fundamental of this game. You know, after it's been released, they've changed everything. You know, and so you have to build completely different now, and it doesn't make sense to me.
So literally every build on the workshop is going to be a problem for people. So let's say, you know, 1.4, let's say new guy buys game. Cool game, yo. Let me go grab like a really cool build or something, and I don't want to use I feel fine blowing up Jay Randall builds. I feel bad blowing up anybody else's build.
I would say you could use mine, but mine blew up before this anyway, so.
Welcome to XBC.
Well, okay, fine. We'll use the Treb, right? So let me grab the Treb, which is by far one of the most popular builds as of recent, right? Like everybody's using the Treb, lots of people using it. You know, and it's like, hey, you know, now I'm in battle and do something down here. See, Jay's smart though, he doesn't use retractable. I gotta get on that bandwagon. Oh, this is actually doing pretty good. That hurt. What was that?
Script says try shooting a generator.
Whoa. Well, so the thing is, like, how do you get to the generators, right? So, I mean, you would have protected your generators to a point, right? The problem is going to be these big, like, thrusters that are inside. Yeah, there you go. That was the magic one. So, yeah. Yeah. All right. Hold on. Let's do that again. So, you know, like, I don't know, you're going down a planet and you get some pew-pew drone or something and he decides he wants to shoot this one. That doesn't have any protection. And literally your entire trebuchet is completely annihilated. Like, forget it. Like, everything's gone. I don't even remember what this looked like. It's like completely gone. Completely foobarred. You know, so that's what I mean. It's just like, it's kind of, that's ridiculous, man. That's freaking insane, dude. One thruster, and this whole thing is gone. And you know, Jay Randall doesn't just put, you know, I'm not saying it's the most protected it could be, but let's go look at that thruster. You know, I mean, the thruster. You know, he puts things inside things, you know? I mean, these things have blocks around them, sort of, you know, stuff like that. Like, there's glass around them to look nice. I mean, it's not just wide open, you know? But, yeah, that one thruster. Which is right here. You know, spaced. I mean, granted, he's got... Yeah, so he's got a block in between the thruster and these oxygen tanks, right? And then I guess they chain to the warp drive, and that chain to the fuel tanks, and that chain to these fuel tanks, and to the shield, and the warp tank, and so you know what I mean? Like, Jesus, like this looks cool, but to me, it's still pretty protected. Like, he's got blocks everywhere. That should be, you know, I mean, reasonable protection here and there, but. You know, no.
But Dragon 13 said, have you tried it in vanilla?
Have I tried in vanilla? No, I have not tried.
The explosion damage. Earlier, someone was saying vanilla's better than Reforged on that. It's not as bad.
Alright, well, let's try it. Let us try! Anvil... series. Let's try this one. I don't know if it's not gonna work. Start game, single player, creative. Sure. Oh, right, the whole, it doesn't like scenarios and... Is it? I mean, if that's the case, then okay, I guess we need to figure that out then. Start game. Single player, create. So then what setting is causing that? So is that something that was done for Reforged Galaxy to make it harder? Because that would be a problem. If that's something to amplify this purely for Reforged, then that's worrisome.
Fred says, I was also told that the server host can adjust the boom factor somehow.
Ah! All right. Well, that seems to be a Reforged thing then. Vermilion, please fix.
Did those blocks even take any damage? It doesn't even look like they took anything.
Yeah, they took a little bit. Yeah, so they're taking slight damage, not a lot.
And Dragon says, I also understand that Vermilion is aware of this and is working on it. So.
Oh, well, okay.
So there goes 2 hours of our complaining.
Yeah! Damn it!
Let's restart the stream. Come on, let's go.
That was really doing something. That was affecting change here.
Nope, you're just a cog in the wheel.
Yeah. Now I just want to blow up the truck because it's fun.
Oh no, there's a missing texture underneath that fuel tank.
Well, this is Jay Randall. This is what he does. He doesn't do a base texture, which is crazy to me. Like,
oh, he doesn't do a base. Wow.
No, he just like textures each thing like a canvas. It's weird. All right. Well, yeah. Okay. So that's a Reforged thing. So then I guess we should just like calm down and just build as normal.
But then we'll have nothing to talk about until you're done streaming. All right, so let's complain. It's icing over here. Dang it.
Okay, so what we need to do is we need to determine if we can change this on our side. Because, you know, I mean, I hope that Vermilion does, you know, I hope Vermilion does something, but what if he likes this? It's his mod, right? Like, he's not, you know, he's privatized designer, right? Like, he doesn't have to answer to anybody, so it's up to him, right? Like, if he wants to keep it, that's purely on him. So, not that Elion has to answer to anybody either, but you know what I mean. I mean, it's totally up to him. So, but can we change it as a server? That's the important thing. That's something that we need to determine. Because if we could change it, then there's no problem. We'll do what we need to do to make it, you know,
Playable.
not stupid. Yeah.
Script says the server owner can change the config files, but it's a lot of work.
Well, we have a very motivated and awesome admin staff, and I think they would be thoroughly motivated to hopefully fix that. I don't know. I don't know if it's possible, so I'm not saying
Chris,
that it's
please help
something.
us.
I'm not saying that it's going to be something that's going to be fixed, but I guarantee you that everything's going to be done to make sure that season 2 is freaking epic. So I wouldn't worry about it, guys. If that's the case, I wouldn't worry too much about it. Let's focus on what we can change and continue to I would more or less build as normal. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'd be fine. See, this is what I don't really get is like what's the difference? Like when we were just in vanilla, that didn't act any differently than normal. Like what was changed? Because it seems the same. Am I wrong? Did I just not know the damage values all the way around? Like it didn't really seem any different to me.
Yeah, I don't know. My guess is Elion did something where it does explode now and does chain react a little easier, and then ReForged just happened to amplify it. But that's just a guess. I have no idea though.
Oh, okay. And then on another note, does this look like something else? Like it looks like something I've already built or was already built, or I almost feel like I'm building something that I've already built or seen, or I'm a little worried.
Nah, I don't think so.
No, yeah, I used to do fuels and stuff last, generators, and right. I do thrusters first just to make sure that I've got all the thrust because those are the biggest things, right? Generators can, well, now I guess I got to worry a little more about them, but they could be more or less adjusted. The other thing that I'm realizing, this is kind of small, but I mean it is a starter. But where do the HVs and stuff? Because I wasn't really planning on having a big hanger like this, but I guess maybe I should make this wider. This wouldn't be bad if it was a little wider, right?
Maybe 2 blocks or 3 blocks. Grumpy Old Dan says it looks like the front of the Zyphos a bit, so it fits in the Armada. There you go.
Oh, is that what I'm thinking? Maybe I hope that I just hope that it's one of my builds. If it's one of my builds, I'm fine. If it's somebody else's build, I've done that before. I've like almost built an entire thing and gone, oh god, this looks just like that. Shit, scrap.
Heckin' Dyer says a mini Space Star Galactica.
Ah.
And then Script says it reminds him of the Artemis ship.
Hmm.
Commander Adam would be pissed.
What? Is this another sci-fi thing I've never seen?
Probably.
You don't have Valheim, do you? Eldon?
I've been thinking about getting it. Isn't it good? Have you played it?
Bro, it's good. It's worth $20. Like right now, it's only $20. It's normally 40. I'd totally. If you have any interest in it, like totally get it now. Like it's totally worth 20. Like it's an RPG / survival open world thingy. Like it's really good, dude. Like I was pretty impressed with it. We did a stream, me, Dragon, and Obsidian did a stream the other day. You go watch back if you want. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll definitely take a look at it. That's the Viking one, right?
Yeah, you could have up to 10 people, man. So you could even pop in and play with us or something. Cool.
Oh, then y'all can make fun of how good I am at dying.
Yeah. Oh no, that's a common talent among all.
That's a common talent.
Don't worry.
Yeah, Hagen Diver says it's great fun. So yeah.
What's cool about the game, though, which I think is really interesting, is it's kind of like DayZ in that your character can basically live in any server. It doesn't, you know what I mean? Like your character development isn't based on the server; it's based on the character. So it's kind of like Diablo or something. Like, yeah, you could build your character up, and you could just bring it in any game. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, because you really do get attached to characters, I get that. So can you make your character fat, bald, and bearded?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know how. I didn't remember any body settings, to be honest.
Oh.
Maybe, I don't know. I didn't really. There wasn't a whole lot of options with the character. There's tons of beards, though.
Oh, well, there you go.
At least that, yeah.
Well, I have to get a short beard now because I'm messed up.
Oh, right? Oh, man. Crushing.
Ice Wolf and the explosion effects are still there.
Yeah, looks like it's still a thing. Nice. That's what we spent the first hour or two in stream doing.
Yeah, why are there no wings for CVs? They really need to put wings. That'd be cool.
That would be. I mean, you could make your own wings per se, but yeah.
Yeah, still not that talented.
It's supposed to get better, Ice Wolf, and I guess we're working on it. That's what all these are. We were testing the damage, and right now it's pretty bad. So.
Yeah, Fedora says wings are for atmospheric flight, not vacuum. That's true, but still, they look really cool.
All I know is I'm glad I'm not developing a space game. You know? Like, can you think of a more, like, fickle fan base than, like, sci-fi? Like, oh, man, like, if you don't do something right or something's not realistic or, like, what if you worked for, like, to build Star Citizen or something? Like, I think that's too much stress, dude. Like, I couldn't even handle it. That's a lot, man. That's a lot. Like, it'd be horrible.
No, yeah, you couldn't pay me enough to work on video games. There's way too many people out there that's like, where do you live at? And you're like, no, I'm not telling you. I'm not even going to tell you Texas.
Yeah, no. Because that's the thing. There's no perfect build. You know, there's no perfect game out there. Like, there's no game that's like, you know, covers all the bases. So it's like,
And also, well, since I've been playing, what are they called, alphas, the game's changed so much too. Like, I think you played 7 Days to Die.
yeah.
Man, you know, a year ago, 2 years ago, that was a completely different game, you know, than it is now. And
Yeah.
oh man,
Yeah, no, it's a different model. It really is. I mean, you can, you know, it's almost like now you just kind of have to have a vague idea what you want to do. You don't really have to have like a whole, you know, to me, like alpha games are kind of R&D now. It's like, hey, what do you think we could do? I don't know. Let's mess around with shit. And that's basically what an alpha game is. And then once they get an idea, then it's like, oh, okay, yeah, let's develop it from here. And, you know, then you get kind of the game. And I think that's kind of like what 7 Days did. Like 7 Days was basically Minecraft with zombies.
mm-hmm.
In the beginning, it looked like it and everything. And then as it went along, it's slowly becoming more of a MMO. Or not MMO, but more of an RPG, right? Than anything. Yeah. And it's just, yeah, it's like a way different game now. And, you know, it's cool. Like, I really like it, but I'm just saying, like, it's a completely different concept from what it was.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, none of those concepts were necessarily talked about in Alpha 8 or whatever, you know? Like, it's not like, hey, eventually this thing's going to have all this. So I think that's a good thing, because games do kind of organically get, you know, changed and developed. And but, you know, I think gone are the days where, hey, we're going to build this game and then, you know, you're going to play it for 5 years because it's awesome. I don't think that's a thing anymore. I don't think people are playing that way anymore.
No, I mean, you ask people about, Fallout 4, you know, and people are like, oh, I spent thousands of hours in that game, you know, and then you're like, oh, okay. Never mind about the bugginess, but you ask them about Fallout 76, and they're like, yeah, maybe 100, 200 hours, and I kind of got bored with it, you know? So, That's true. GTA 5 is still going strong.
Well, that's different. Games that, you know, have mod tools and mod support, and, you know, like, to me, that's a different thing. Because, you know, you take like Half-Life 2. Half-Life 2 is one of the most successful games of all time. Not necessarily because it was Half-Life 2, but because a million other games spawned from it. And games became their own games out of being mods of, you know, like Insurgency, like, you know, some of these other games. And it's, you know, that's a testament to the developers, you know, seeing beyond their own game. But that's a different thing. But I mean, I'm just saying, like, you know, other games that have, you know, like old games that came, you know, the Rainbow Six series, you know, the old FPS stuff like Call of Duty and all these other games, like older Call of Duties, had a long play time because people were, you know, it was a solid game. It worked. There was a lot to do. And you know, I guess, but, you know, also games didn't come out as quickly as they do now, right? That's a big part of it too. Games come out really fast now. New games every week. I mean, you could literally look on Steam and every week there's some new game. And yeah, it's not the same as it used to be.
Like Halo. Oh my goodness, I put way too many hours into Halo, and you know, the first, and I haven't played any of the other ones. I know they made some more, but
yeah.
Yeah, I actually haven't played Factorio. I keep on meaning to buy it and play it, but I don't know.
Yeah, I have it on my wish list. I haven't gotten it. But I have Oxygen not included, and it's like I really like the concept of it, but I just don't have the hours to pour into it. And that's those games like that, I don't know. I don't think I can play those games anymore just because it requires a lot of no lifing, and I you know, I can only no life one game at a time. Like I can't you can't casually play that game, I guess is what I mean. It's like you really got to be into it, you know?
Oh yeah, it's like have you ever played what is it called? Don't Starve.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah,
that game is great until you die. But you know, until you die, you have 10, 15 hours into it, and then you lose it all. And oh man, oh that game gets so aggravating.
Hmm.
Oh, I didn't know that they had Game Pass for PC. Huh, that's interesting. Oh, have you tried that Dyson Sphere program yet?
I have that on my wish list. I haven't gotten it yet.
Doom Eternal. Oh man, that game seemed kind of creepy to me. So I'm like, I don't really need a creepy game.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much started PC gaming with Doom, so that'd be a nice throwback, but
Oh, Script says you actually got Game Pass when the boosted on Discord 3 months ago. Shows you how good I am with technology right there. Yeah, back when games were simpler. Oh man, I miss. I just downloaded whatever the new Civ game is, like Civ 5 or whatever, and I'm like, oh, this is so complicated now. It used to be easy. You just built things and blew things up. It was so much better.
but see that yeah, that's true. Like I could never play StarCraft again. But I used to pour out hundreds of hours in it back then. It's like your mind works differently the older you get, and I just don't have the patience for that shit anymore.
Yeah. Oh, it's Civ 6. Yeah, whatever the new one is. I got like 3 hours in it, 4 hours, and I was just like, I'm done. Mansion. Haven't heard of that one. Zach McCracken. Haven't heard of that one either. Those are some old school games, I'm guessing. Okay, so perfect games. Let's talk about Tetris. Now that's a game, man. So did you ever try that? Zach McCracken and the Alien Mindbenders, 1988.
Me? No, I never even heard of that.
Yeah. Heckendiver says, no bugs at all, but sometimes the game crashed. Pre-sell, there you go. Someone was talking about Solitaire earlier. I'm like, oh man, all those games. At least in Tetris, you don't have exploding ships. So a game I remember playing way back when. So I'm terrible at spelling, and back in the 80s and 90s, they didn't really know what dyslexia was. So one of the teachers suggested that we get a video game for the computer that was, to get past the room or whatever, you had to spell a word. But we didn't have speakers back then. And so it was all, be typed up on the screen. And so it says, spell this word. And then so I'd type it in. And I'd still fail at that game. I remember my parents getting so mad at me. They're like, this is supposed to help you learn how to spell and all this other stuff. And I'm like sitting there going, and I'm even cheating and I can't even get it right. So it's a random story about old memories. Police Quest, Space Quest, and Leisure Suit Larry in the 80s. Some of those actually do sound familiar. There was, what was it, King's Quest maybe? Where you go around and figure out little puzzles. Huh.
I remember when, so I had I remember when my parents got a 286 and then I upgraded it to a 386. And then that was like Windows 3.1 and stuff though. But Windows 95 was when my dad bought this like whole set. Like it was this whole computer system and it came with this whole folder of discs and stuff, or I guess they were CDs, right? They were actually CDs, and it came with Monster Truck Madness, which was this like monster truck driving game that I absolutely killed the hell out of that game. Earthworm Jim, and
Earthworm. Oh, I forgot about Earthworm Jim. They had that also on like the PlayStation or something.
Yeah. So there's a couple games that came with that whole suite or whatever, and I played the shit out of some of those, dude. And then but yeah.
Lemmings, did you ever play that one?
No.
Oh man, that game was so aggravating. And the best part is you need that big old computer to run it, and now you can run it on your phone.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Earthworm Jim was on Sega. That's right.
Yeah, so I played Doom at my dad's work, but I actually owned Quake, the first Quake. And that from then on I was like pure FPS. Like I loved FPS and played the shit out of FPS. I mean, we're not, I played the shit out of Oregon Trail and stuff. That doesn't count. Everybody played Oregon Trail, but like FPS wise, like yeah, it was Quake, the whole Quake series, Duke Nukem, and then Soldier of Fortune 1.
Yep.
When I was in the military, that's when I got Soldier of Fortune 1. And that was my first online FPS. And then from then on, it was just online. And that's when I played all. That's Battlefield 1942. Then Battlefield 2 was a huge. I played the shit out of Battlefield 2. That was, to me, that was the best gaming was at one point, dude. Battlefield 2 was such a renaissance, like, because it was one of the first games that you really like in that genre in first person shooters that you could really grind your character and unlock all the different specialties and stuff. And like that was the first time I really grinded a game like an FPS game, because you know before it was just like Diablo and stuff like that, but with this FPS, like you could really, you know, justify spending hundreds of hours playing it. And it was, you know, it was a thing. But then, you know, then Call of Duty ruined everything after Modern Warfare 2, and it all became about camping and prestige and all this bullshit. But back then, like, it was like people were really playing, man. Like, you had snipers really sniping, you had medics, you had all this great shit. It was tons of fun, man. To me, like, Infinity Ward just destroyed FPS. Never been the same.
Did you ever play, I want to say it was Pax Imperia by any chance? If I'm not mistaken, I might be the wrong game, but I think that's what it was. But you kind of built spaceships and you conquered the galaxy, you know, kind of like this. It was more of a third person kind of strategic, but it was probably my first space game, and ever since then I've always loved space games. But you know, just a random weird game.
Yeah, no, I never. I'm trying to think of what my first space game would be. I mean, I guess StarCraft doesn't count though. I mean, like actual like astronaut space game. I guess maybe Space Engineers even. Like I can't think of one before that.
Really? Wow.
What can be like? Name some. Like I'm just forgetting.
There was oh man, you got to go googling Star Wars. Yeah, Star Wars. Yeah, there's a couple Star Wars games out there.
Yeah, but I mean actual like Star Wars is different. I mean actual like space games where you're like, you know, like ships and shit. Like I don't think I never played Eve. I was never an Eve. No, I built a character in Eve and didn't understand how to start, so I never did. I didn't get it. I was like, what the? I made this cool character. He looks amazing. What do I do now? And I just never got an answer. I was like, all right, fuck this. I just left.
Oh, Star Wars TIE Fighter 94.
Wing Commander? Yeah, I mean...
Wing Commander.
Yeah, I play... Yes, I mean... Different, though. Like, I don't know. Like, to me, Space Engineers was like... You really had to, like... problem solve from the jump, and I was just blown away by it. I was like, oh, this is amazing. Like, I actually have to figure out oxygen, and I'm gonna die if I don't. Like, this is great, you know?
Homeworld. That was 99, so...
No, I never played that.
Oh, Mass Effect. Oh, man. I don't know if that really counts, but that was a fun game.
Never played any Mass Effect game ever.
Really? Oh, man.
No.
Oh.
I've already gotten shit for that. Yeah, no.
Okay, so I can't do it now? Okay, I get you.
I've gotten a lot of shit for... See, that's the thing, yeah. Like, I've never... Yeah. There's a lot of games like that. I've never... You said Halo earlier. I never played Halo before.
You never played Halo? Oh,
see, I was never a console FPS player, so I don't understand how people play FPS on the console.
Okay. Well, that actually makes sense.
Freaking weird for me. Like, I don't get it. So I never played Halo, never, you know.
So let's see. PAX Imperia was 92. Oh, that makes me feel old. Man. That's over 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Wait. Oh, yeah. Oh.
Halo was on PC, the original ones? Were they? You know, the other thing, I didn't really like future shooters. Like, I played 2142, but I didn't really like it. I was never into the whole future combat thing. I really liked... Like, I never liked the Ghost Recon, whatever, future bullshit.
Did you ever play Solid Gear, I think it was called? Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, fuck yeah. Played the hell out of Metal Gear Solid. Dude.
Oh, man, that was a great game.
Oh, my God.
Man.
I played VR missions. That's how dedicated to that shit I was.
Wow.
Played the shit out of VR missions, dude.
Man, hats off to you. That was rough.
Yeah.
I hated the VR stuff.
Oh, dude, I played all that shit. Good times right there, man. Oh, Javai, I'm sorry to hear that, man. That sucks.
Yeah, that's rough.
Oh, I still need forward. Or reverse thrust, I mean.
We're having an issue with chickens dying around here because they're building up so much that the coyotes and skunks don't have anywhere to go anymore, except for, you know, where they know they're not supposed to be. So yeah, that's the thing. It's farm eggs. They're just so much better than regular eggs. Oh, Battlefield Vietnam. Did you ever try that one out?
Yeah. Yeah. Battlefield 1943. I played all those.
I know I played some of them. I can't remember which ones off the top of my head, though. Chet just said, was wondering if they want to make this game so realistic, how come these paint guns never run out of paint? Don't give them any ideas, please. Please.
Oh, that'd be great if I could, like, regulate how much paint J. Randall gets.
You can only get it from farming chrysanthemums.
Oh, God. Crap mechanic.
Next update, paint gun paint explosions. That would be funny. If you painted anything pink, it would explode easier or whatever.
I don't know. I just want to see like the whiteboard at Elion Studios. I bet that's a wild board, dude. Like, if there was one, like, I wonder, like, oh, this week we're gonna work on this random thing. This week we're gonna work on this random, and then there's like must do over on the side that just gets ignored for years. Like, yeah,
it got erased, you know.
Yeah, not really important at this point.
So speaking of whiteboard, at my last job, we had a big whiteboard that we had to always put our work on, and we're supposed to erase and all that other stuff. We used to get yelled at so often because we wouldn't put things up there or whatever, and bosses would go back and fix it. And then one day they were having a meeting going, why don't you guys ever do this? And they're like, well, because if we don't, you'll end up doing it. So we don't have to. So random whiteboard thing. So I hate whiteboards. Has anyone played Arma 2 or 3? I haven't.
Played the shit out of Arma. So I actually own VBS 1, which is VBS 1 is the actual military simulation program that Arma came from. Operation Flashpoint, basically. And then from Operation Flashpoint there was Arma 1 and then Arma 2. And yeah, I've played them all, man. I used to test the FFUR mods. I was deep into freaking Arma, dude. Like, Flashpoint mainly. Arma, not so much. But Flashpoint, like, I played hundreds and hundreds of hours of Flashpoint. That was my shit, dude. You would sit there and, like, you would like, let's say your mission was to go assassinate this general before, you know, some shit happens or whatever. So you would literally trek hundreds of, you know, like, miles, right? Like, it would take you, you know, if you had a vehicle, great. If you didn't, you had to walk it. It would take you hours to get to the point, and then you would have to set up. You'd have to get your people around there and everything, and we'd play co-op and stuff, right? So we'd all be around there just to take this one shot. And at this certain time, based on intel, this general would come out and talk to whatever, and that was your point to be able to shoot. And it was literally one shot. And then once you kill them, you go back to extract point, and yeah, it was.
Wow, that sounds like way too much work. For
it was so fun, dude. It was so much fun, man. Oh, it was so good. Like, but you know, like, as you're trekking, you might run into like a patrol or something. You might run into, you know, little elements of the enemies and stuff, and you'd have to, like, either, you know, find your way around or whatever. But like, everything comes into play in that game, like everything. And it's really cool. It's a lot of fun, but, you know, it takes a certain person to want to play that way. And, you know, unfortunately, it's not as popular now because, you know, kids just don't have that kind of attention span, right? They don't make games for us anymore, right? So,
yeah.
You know, so it's different. It's like a different, you know, I mean, unfortunately. But back then, like, yeah, like Raven Shield. I used to play Viet Cong. And I was big in joint operations, Typhoon Rising, Escalation. I was part of the international conflict tournament, as I've said that a couple times. But yeah, I mean, that was my shit, dude. Full military simulation games, like, tons of fun, man.
Yeah, I always shied away from those. So
Well, what attracted to me is the same thing that attracts me to to what we're doing now, and that's just teamwork. I mean, any game where you can get a lot of people involved and they can work as a group, and there's a level of respect, and that's all you need. I mean, that's honestly what people are looking for, and it doesn't really matter what game it is. So that's what attracted me to those games was everybody was very it was so organized, man. We'd have 400 or 500 people in one server battling each other, and the game worked. Like it actually worked. Like it was amazing, dude. We'd have like 10-15 people jumping out of Blackhawks with flashbangs in their hands, you know. Then that's all we do for 8 hours on a Sunday, and it was fucking amazing. You know, you can't do that anymore. That's doesn't exist like it used to. Well, no. So for the tournament, we'd have it was extremely organized. We'd have campaigns. So campaigns would last about 3 or 4 months, and the first thing you'd do is you'd appoint 2 generals. So you'd have the generals of the opposing armies, and they would choose what we do historical militaries. So, you know, you'd have like the whatever. It could be any army or whatever. It'd be like the US Army versus the, you know, Chinese Federation of whatever from 19 whatever, you know. And they would just choose, and then they'd basically role play that. And once you had your general, you'd pick your HCO staff, your upper, you know, generals and stuff, and you'd choose them, and then they would choose their COs, and then you'd have like an infantry, you'd have a air corps, you'd have a you know, you'd have like 3 infantries, you'd have spec ops, and you'd have the COs from all that, and then they would recruit people, and then when people joined the tournament, they would randomly get put on an army, and it was random. Like you couldn't just buddy up with the people you always play with. You had to play with different people all the time, because it maintains the integrity of the rank and file. Right? You're gonna take orders from people that you don't know a little easier than you are, like your buddies and shit. So it worked out really well, man. And we would have, so what they would do is they'd train, and they would you know, every Sunday we'd have a battle on 2 different maps, and we'd run these maps for 8 hours, and it usually like 5 or 6 maps of each map, so it'd be like 12 battles over an 8-hour time. And yeah, like, but it was so in depth. You had training, right? So you had a training jacket. Everybody had a personal training jacket, and basically you could take like medic 1, medic 2, medic 3, and you'd have to get qualified in all these different things. You get qualified as infantry, you get qualified as a sniper, as spec ops, you'd have to go to air piloting school, and you'd have to do, and the game was so good. Joint Operations is like 10 times better than Battlefield 2. It's just not as well known. It was made by Nova Logic, same people that made Delta Force and all these other games, and it was so good, dude. But it was so in depth the way everything worked, and we made a mod for this game that had about 100 to 200 different vehicles. Like it was insane, dude. You had these little birds, you had Apaches, you had Blackhawks, you had jets, you had Warthogs, you had everything. And like it was intense, dude. It was so much fun. But you'd have a strategy based on this map, and you know, you would change up your strategies, whatever. But we'd have TeamSpeak, and I don't know if you guys have ever seen 400 people in one TeamSpeak, but it's insane. But the way TeamSpeak was set up is you could only talk to specific channels. The general can all chat like his whole army, or he can all chat his NCOs. He can all chat, and like we had it so down to a pat, dude. It was amazing. Then we had a UN staff that was the admins of the tournament, and I eventually became a UN staff. And they would oversee everything and make sure everything was good, make sure all the rules were being followed, and you know, we'd be in God mode, basically invisible, watching the battles and stuff, making sure everything was good. And oh man, it was so much fun. They did about 32 campaigns over the span of like 5 or 6 years until the tournament finally died out.
Well, now you make me feel like, man, I wish I was back then playing. So
It's dude, anytime anything like that, like it's just so much fun, man. It's so much fun to see something so organized and be a part of it. You know, and there's I don't know if those things exist. I mean, I think some games still have things like that. I know there's a tournament, World at War, that's been going on for about 10, 15 years, and I still get emails from them. So I think they're still doing stuff, but yeah, it's just harder to find that level of gameplay. And it's like it's something where like I think this game would be good for that. I think like, you know, the future of this game could be that if we get mod tools and if we get people that are willing to make this game work for that. And if that's like, I think that would be a lot of fun, man. There's servers that have tried to emulate it somewhat, like you know, even like Craft World. Craft World was cool because you had a PvE zone and then you had a PvP zone, and PvPers only had gold deposits. So they would mine gold and they would use that gold to purchase whatever they needed from PvE. PvE would have the massive factories and stuff, crafting ammo, crafting, you know, making vehicles, and basically you would order your fleets, and then you would go and you'd pick up, and it'd be like a whole process to order your things and pick it up. And I kind of liked that concept. I thought that was cool, but the problem with this game is it's just it's a really diverse group of people. That there's some people that just detest PvP in every way, and there's some that really like it, and it, you know, it's toxic, it's not toxic, so it's weird. It's like it's any game where you can fill boxes. It's very yeah, some people just don't like risking losing that time, you know.
no, I get it. I'm definitely one of those that I don't like PvP. If I was better at it, probably, but you got to play it to be better at it. But I hate wasting that. That's actually what made me stop playing Ark, because I used to play that on the Xbox, and I had to have had every bit of 100 hours into a server. Me and a group of probably about 10 guys, and we were pretty big. We had all the critters and all that other stuff. And just one day, someone got bored, and when we were offline, just totally wiped us. And that was the end of my PvP experience right there, because I'm like, we spent so long taming Gigas and all them other guys, and oh man, just get wiped because someone was bored. Afterwards, they apologized, but you're like, it doesn't.
Yeah, no, I get it. That game seems like, because it takes a lot, right? Like you really have to you got to put in so much time to tame and stuff. So I could see how that would suck. Like coming from Rust, you know, it's you know, you fill up boxes, but the whole premise of the game is kind of funny because there's nothing of value in that game except for the very thing that you use to raid other people, which is C4. So everything you do is to make C4 to steal other people's shit. So
steal other people's C4, yeah.
Yeah, to steal other people's C. So I literally never understood it. Like sometimes I'd stand back and go, "Why am I playing this? Like all I'm doing is stealing other people's C4. Like there's nothing else you wanted to see in a box other than C4." Like weapons, none of that shit was important at all. It was like, oh, there's C4, yes. Now we can go raid these guys. But that's what it was. It was like you built up to go raid other people. And, you know, we had such a reputation to be able to raid people. And, like, people always wanted to find us. And we would be hiding. And, you know, so it was a lot of fun, you know, based on that. But I could see where you actually had stuff of value, like an Ark, where that would suck. And I get that. Or like, let's say you take, you know, 100 hours to build, you know, the Helios in game or something, and then somebody comes and destroys it. That to me is just unbalanced and stupid. Like, I get that. I get how that would suck. But, you know, that's not the case, right? Because you can spawn stuff in, right? So to me, in Empyrion, you know, if you have the means to gather resources, you have the means to get whatever ships you want. So let's say you spawn in 20 Switchblade SVs, right? And, you know, you're willing to lose those in battle. And as long as you can maintain a fleet, you can play PvP. So to me, I don't understand why that's a problem. But I get the Arc thing, because yeah, the dinosaurs, you know, you can't just, I guess you could hatch them, but it takes a long time to tame them. It's a different thing.
Yeah, and hatching them, actually, they brought it up earlier. We were spending good 30, 40 hours getting on every 2 hours to feed them after we had hatched them, or even more than that. It's been a while, but we had actually mutations in our gigas. So anyone that's played that knows how long that takes on a official to get. And oh man, but you know, I'd be willing to give you know, Empyrion a try at that, because you're right. You know, in 8 hours, if you put your nose to the grind, you could get yourself, you know, most any ship, you know, if you really tried hard. 8 hours is not that bad to lose.
Yeah, well, it's not only that though. It's, you know, once you have the means to produce resources. So in the beginning, you're you know, you got a hand tool, you're gathering things, you're doing things, you're trying to get, you know, but once you get to mid to end game, you have miners, you have salvagers, you have these tools that can gain you more resources. So it's easier to recoup what you lost, you know, and as long as you could bring your ship back to a repair bay, it's going to be fine. You'll fix it. So to me, this game is kind of built for that in ways. What the problem with this game is that the it's not optimized for PvP. It's just horrible. But I think maybe with this server, I'm not in any way suggesting we should start PvP. Let me put that out there now. That's not what I'm talking about. But I'm just saying, like, it could be an interesting concept, because I think some of the things that prevented this game from being PvP is mainly the server. It's always been, you know, this game sucks. It's not optimized to be able to do that. But, you know, look at what Krellas has done, right? I feel like maybe this might even be capable of doing something like that.
Well, whenever we were, it was Fred, raised me up, and myself, and we went up against a Dreadnought, the Tavera class Dreadnought. So that already has at least 100 different turrets, and then I think Fred said he had 80. The Xiphos had like 50 or 60, a lot of them missiles, and I can't remember what Ray's had on his. And yeah, we were getting about 20 to 30 frames per second, but still, that's a lot of particle effects. You know, that was a lot of stuff going everywhere, and it you know, I couldn't complain about it. So the only problem that we kept on having was our ships would stop working, so you had to either turn them off and then back on. I think Fred had to relog a couple times, so that was not the server's fault by any means, but that was a little on the aggravating side.
Yeah, to me, if I was gonna do PvP, then it would for one, I wouldn't have a lot of rules. The more rules you have, the worse it's gonna be. I mean, I'm a personal testament to that with previous PvP situations I've been in this game. But
no one mentioned the super lifter. No one.
yeah. So, you know, but that's it. I mean, once you have rules, they can be translated. So to me, successful PvP has to be no rules. It has to be, you know what? If you lose your shit, then that's it. I mean, you got to expect that you're probably going to lose your stuff, and you're going to have to be okay with that. If you're not okay with that, then, you know, probably shouldn't play PvP. And that's, you know, that's just the case. I mean, if I'm playing PvP, I'm willing to lose everything, but I'm going to take steps to not lose everything. I'm going to scatter my stuff. I'm going to have redundancy. I'm going to have all these different things. And that's what you got to work towards. You know, and then the whole scheduling warfare thing, I never understood that. Like, so there's certain aspects that would have to be understood from the people playing in order for it to work. And if that's not the case, then yeah, it doesn't make sense to do it, because it's just going to end up bad. There's going to be, you know, people are going to be like, oh, that's, you know, that was a shitty move, or that was, you know, da-da-da, you know. It's an understanding that, you know, we're playing this to, you know, get the better of each other and see, you know, how tactical we could be to win. And that's not for everybody, absolutely. That's not for everybody. But I think it's fun to watch, if anything. I think people would enjoy watching that. So it would really make for some great content. And it was, you know, and that's what I always wanted to do. I wanted to make some really intriguing content and stuff. But You got to play
Well,
with the right people.
The thing is how many NPCs can you go fight right now? You know, it's like whenever you're doing PvP, everybody else, for lack of a better way of saying it, is an NPC. You're not playing their character, and you can attack them, and they can attack you back, and so it makes it so much more interesting. You know?
Yeah. I don't like this. The more I'm building this, like, I don't really like this.
Kind of reminds me of one of your tanks, but I can't think of which one it is. Oh, it's the rebar. Mark III, but no, it doesn't really look like that.
You were looking.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's bugging me. And the best part is I had to sign in all my Steam stuff because, well, I'm not on my computer. So I'm like, oh, how do you spell Excalibur?
Nice.
Chat's saying build pods, and pods.
Yeah, so the other idea is to build a starter out of a pod, which is easy to do. Like that's not a big deal. I could do, but I don't know. I had an idea for a ship, and this isn't necessarily the idea I had.
I need to find out where to find Sathium in vast quantities. Oh man, that's a good one. The only way I know is getting out and exploring, and hopefully you find an asteroid. Bucko says, blow it up. Fred's asking, what is the level of the multi-turret for CVs? He can't bring up his game at the moment. Level 20? Is it level 20? I don't know.
Yeah.
And then asteroids. Star type. So the star type that you're looking for Sathium is, I believe, the hot planets, which is like K and O. Why? Yeah, that's smart. Yeah, the POIs that have combat steel, easy to harvest. But have you looked at any of the new stuff added to RG?
RG?
Or Reforged Galaxy?
Oh, no. I don't normally look at anything. I like to be surprised by everything.
Ah, there's some really cool stuff I was looking at yesterday.
Meh, I don't like it. Eh. It's a fun exercise. I mean, at the end of the day, right? Like, something like this could totally be a pretty big, solid, you know, starter CV. I mean, not necessarily the thrust, but, you know, there's a lot of room in here to kind of do whatever you need to do.
Well, how about this for an idea? Change out those little thrusts for big thrusts, but whenever you actually are ready to spawn in or you get into space, you can just take out the big thrust, put in little thrust, and just throw that into your factory. And just, you know, recycle it pretty much.
Right. Yeah, so it's more of a strategy thing with the starters, right? Like, because I don't want to bring in a starter and then it's just not serving a purpose after, right? So if it can turn into a miner, if it could, you know, if it could turn into, you know, so like that was the idea behind the original rebar, right? And then even the latest rebar that's a prefab, right, is to be basically a miner once you're done with it, right? So, you know, when it starts out, it's what was originally supposed to carry my little HV miner, and you know, it has the warp, it's got all these basic things, you know, and then it's expansive, you got the option for the shield and all that crap. But once you get to max level, that's where you take these guys out and, you know, you put your drills in there, and boom, now it's an end game miner. That was the idea, but you know, so something like that, I think I need to come up with something like that, or just use the rebar. but the rebar, oh my god, the rebar probably blows the shit up and like, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and buy rebar.
Yeah, right now if you take it up against an Astro, yeah, that might happen.
Oh shit! Like the whole ship's gone. Wow.
Fred says, really? Think small. It's small now there.
Wow.
Charlie, the Italian job rings a bell. You were only meant to blow up the bloody doors.
Wow. Bye, Spork. It was fun. Oh man, that's crazy.
Can't forget the flapjack. I bet that thing has a pretty good explosion.
Ooh. Yeah, see? Wow.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Fred. I might just enclose my thrusters, so.
You might just what?
Enclose the thrusters. I just don't like it, you know?
Well,
I like seeing them.
Yeah, once, I mean, let's see what happens. Let's see if this gets fixed, but yeah, no, it's interesting. We'll see. I'm on the right path here, though. Something kind of like this, but I don't like the look of it. That forward thrust or the reverse thrust kind of screwed me up there. It kind of ruined that whole look for me. Because now I'm eating into the hanger and So I don't know. I gotta figure something out. I want it to be bigger than this guy, because this guy wasn't big enough, and I bet this thing blows up too. Oh my god. Still not bad. Oh, let's try here.
Chat saying next try out the Helios.
Yeah, I did that earlier. Oh, I actually kind of... Damn, that warp drive, buddy. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I got plenty more time. We'll see what happens. I think that's gonna be it for this stream, though, guys. I will likely be streaming tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. Probably do some Valheim, just some chill Valheim streaming with Dragon, and you know, we'll see if Jay Randall pops in. I'll donk if you want it. It's cool. If you get it or not, I don't know.
Yeah, might.
But yeah, just keep building, guys. Don't, you know, things will get fixed. They won't get fixed. We'll figure it out. We'll work it out. Find ways around things. That's what we do here.
Chat's asking, can you blow up the Helios before you go?
I did. It's actually blown up.
Oh, is it? Oh.
Yeah. See, it's already. We did that. Yeah, we blew it up already. It actually doesn't really blow up either, because it's so big, like only sections of it blow up.
So
Yeah.
in other words, we all need to start building monster carriers.
Yeah. He did a good job of kind of segregating them and stuff, so it's not a big boom. Not that big a boom.
Has the Helios been released?
Yep, both REFORGED and vanilla. Gonna raid somebody new, guys. Give them some love, let them know where you came from. Looks like this guy might be new. I will catch you guys maybe later tonight. If not, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Till then, take care, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks a lot, Eldonk, as always. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. Take it easy, y'all.